Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki Jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumara Arpanamatu. It is with deep gratitude we have offered our grateful pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagwan. This is no small opportunity. This is no small grace that we were able to gather here in the Sandhya Kal, the evening twilight, when even a little tapas will bear enormous fruit. We were able to sing the powerful name of Bhagwan, all by His grace. When the Divine Guru makes a will, wills something, Sankalpa we call it, anything is possible. We shall have a glimpse of such an event that happened in Sanadi Street House some 40 years back. It was a solar eclipse day. On that day, in the north, after the solar eclipse, all the people would crowd and have a dip in the Ganges. Now Bhagwan was with two other people that day, and he kept saying, this was solar eclipse day. At a certain times, he suddenly got up, went inside, searched for something, and found a can of Ganges water. He brought it out with two glasses, and it was a small can, not a very big one. Some two people had brought it several months before. Now Bhagwan took half of the water, and in the rest half, he took 75%, 3/4 of the water, gave it to Agaram Jairam. And there was one other person, and he gave the leftover, this 25%. And then he said, look, we have all had a dip in the Ganges water. All those people who get their punya, who have earned meritorious deed by having a dip in the Ganges water, the holy, holy, holy Ganges water. We have had, just by drinking this water. Several months back, some people had brought it, this beggar forgot all about it. But now, this has come to our rescue. We can be very happy that we have had a dip in the Ganges water. Just see, the Divine Guru can do anything just by Sankalpa. Whatever he says is the truth. He also added, oh, this beggar has done something. Look, this beggar took half of the water. And then from the rest half, this beggar gave 3/4 to Jayarama and only 1/4 to this person, to the visitor. You see, this beggar should not have done that. This beggar should have distributed it equally. But in madness, in divine madness, this beggar has done it. He sounded regretful, but then he said, but you know, Jayarama, this beggar could not have done it any other way. These are all glimpses of how Bhagwan worked with the devotees. And then he gave an apple to Jayaraman, Agaram Jayaraman. And then he gave another apple for his mother, who used to feed him whenever he was in Tiruvannamalai. And then there was a pause. He went and took another apple and said, Jayarama, those two people who brought this Ganges water several months back, they must be in Tiruvannamalai now. You're going there. Will you hand it over to them? They made it possible for us to have a dip in the Ganges water on the solar eclipse day. Jayaraman happily agreed and took it. And then, you know what he did? He put all the 3 apples together in a bag. And then, in order to distinguish one from the other, with his nail, he made a mark in the last one, which was to be handed over to the couple. And then Bhagwan said very casually, Jayarama, will you give that apple back to this beggar? And then he took it. He looked at it. He said, oh, this has been marked by the holy hand of Jayarama with his nail. Now this beggar feels that he should eat this. And then he asked him to bring a knife, and he said, you cut it into 3 exact pieces. No piece should be smaller or greater, bigger. So Jayaraman obeyed. He made it into 3 exact pieces. Then Bhagwan took one and gave one to Jayaraman and gave the third to the visitor and said, now this beggar has done the right thing. He has given equal pieces to each one here, unlike the water that he distributed. And then he went inside, brought one more apple, and gave that to Jayaraman and said, this beggar feels that you should take this for those people. Just see the divine drama, the Leela that he played there. Several subtleties of work, his father's work, were involved. We don't even get a glimpse of the inside. We cannot understand what was involved. But we know whatever Bhagwan did was perfect. He had his own calculations. Accordingly, he did his father's work. It was unquestionable and very difficult to understand, but this is the way he held his darbar, he held his court and carried on his father's work. Everyone got their share of blessings that day, no doubt. But who could understand the subtleties involved in all those actions? But this gives a definite assurance to us that Bhagwan would do his work perfectly. He often said that his Father, the Divine Father, was satisfied with his work. He would sometimes say, "Oh, this machine works well." Father is satisfied with the work of this machine. So let's remember that we are also machines in the hands of our Bhagwan, and it is He who is activating us into our role play. And whatever Bhagwan does in each one's life is perfect, unquestionable. So now we shall appeal to the generosity, to the compassion of our Bhagwan and submit our today's prayer.